today. Vikki is with Cross Country Mortgage and her office is in downtown Plymouth. Today we are talking about big decisions and planning. And home buying is probably one of the biggest decisions any home buyer will be making. So today Vikki's going to talk about the best practices about planning the home buying process. So take over.
Thank you. Yes, so a lot of people aren't aware of how far in advance that they need to think about and start processing and preparing for purchasing a home. Most buyers think that they can literally think about it and maybe be in a home in 2 or 3 months. And today, that's really not possible. You need a little bit more time and effort put into the planning process. I suggest about 6 to 12 months. So from the initial thought that you're purchasing home, plan on it taking you anywhere from 6 to 12 months in the market that we're in. And this has to do with inventory in the state of Michigan. But even if you are thinking about it down the road, the market conditions don't really dictate when you should start planning, because a lot of times people will have that first thought about purchasing a home and it might be 2 years later that they actually do it. But it's never too early to start preparing. And ways that you can prepare, right? The first thing, you want to be talking to a mortgage company if you're not paying cash. If you need to finance it, you need to figure out just how that works. One of the other things I suggest to people is check out what your credit looks like. You can do that on your own, or if you do find a great lender to work with, you can do that with the lender up front. You can go to annualcreditreport.com. That's the federal government's website where we can get credit reports. You can, I believe you can get credit scores. You sometimes have to pay for those. During COVID and after COVID, they were doing free credit scores. I don't know if that's still a thing, but it's annualcreditreport.com. None of the other websites are, affiliated with the government, and that is our right to receive all 3 credit bureaus once a year. All right.
Good point. Yeah.
So do that, or talk to a lender. If you talk to a lender, they're going to pull your credit. No need to do that on your own, but anyone can go in there and do that. And then one of the common mistakes that I see a lot of times with people is they think that they have to pay off all their debt, right? Yep. And so they're paying off all their debt and they're using up all the money that they had saved to buy a home when they qualified with the debt that they had.
Right.
So my suggestion is save, save, save. I joke all the time, ramen noodles, put your money away if you're thinking, because money is the key to everything when it comes to buying a house.
Absolutely.
So don't go and pay off all your debt, because it may not be necessary and it's really hard to save money. So that's the harder thing. You can always pay off debt. If we suggest that you need to pay something off, we can do that. But once the money's gone, right, we're done, right? So that's another thing, is talk to somebody before you make any drastic changes there. Also, try to figure out and do some research on where you're looking to buy, right? And have as many options as possible, right? Wouldn't you agree with the market that we're in?
Yep.
You don't want to go out there and find out that the area that you're looking in you can't afford, or what you had your heart set on, or there's just not, right? And then you can't find anything. So I tell people, cast the widest net possible, and get to know those communities and areas, drive around, and then, making, good decisions on how you pay your bills, right? Making sure that you're maintaining good credit. For example, a 30-day late on your credit card and on any kind of credit, can drop your credit up to 100 points.
Wow. I'm sure a lot of people out there do not know that.
They don't know that. And it's really devastating to find that out when you've never been late on anything and all of a sudden you're late on one thing. So just to kind of recap, figure out where you want to go, save your money, pull credit, hook up with a mortgage person. And then at that point, once you've done a little bit of that, then you want to you want to bring in your realtor partner at that point, right? The real estate agent that you're going to be working with. And you may already have that person, but at that point, then we start kind of moving you to that next phase, which would be the pre-approval.
Thank you, Vikki. I will put Vikki's contact information in caption. She is a great mortgage lender, has been in the business for a very long time. So thank you for that insight, Vikki.
Thank you.